Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing with you all the 6 books, I cannot hold all them up, I read in January 2025. As well as this, I'll be telling you the books that I am currently reading and the books on my TBR. With this video, I'll be rating them or giving me my rating of the books, what I liked about the books, what I didn't like the books, whether or not I'd recommend these books to you, and yeah, just my thoughts about it. So, grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's have some fun. Let's get started. So the first book I read of the year was Fairy Tale by Stephen King. I started this book on the 30th of December and finished it around the 3rd of January. She's a big book. Suppose he's a big book. So I'm going to tell you about this book. I rated this book, I think it was 4 stars. And I love this book. I ate it up. And I barely slept, okay? I just read and read and read.
It was not healthy at all.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I liked about it. This book takes place in another world. It starts off in the normal world. This book is in, I think, Chicago or somewhere in Illinois. And he goes into this fantasy world. The main character's name is Charlie. Hang on. I'm going to read you the back of the blurb. The back of the book. Legendary storyteller Stephen King goes into the deepest well of his imagination in this spellbinding novel about a 17-year-old boy who inherits the keys to a parallel world where good and evil are at war, and the stakes could not be higher for their world or ours. Charlie Reed looks like a regular high school kid, great at baseball and football, a decent student. He carries a heavy load. His mum was killed in a hit-and-run accident when he was 7, and grief drove his dad to drink. Charlie learned how to take care of himself and his dad. Then when Charlie is 17, he meets a dog named Radar and her aging master, Howard Bowditch, a recluse in a big house at the top of a big hill, with a locked shed in the backyard. Sometimes strange sounds emerge from it. Charlie starts doing jobs for Mr. Bowditch and loses his harp to Radar. Then when Bowditch dies, he leaves Charlie a cassette tape telling a story no one would believe. What Bowditch knows and has kept secret all his long life is that inside the shed is a portal to another world. King's storytelling in Fairy Tale soars. This is a magnificent and terrifying tale about another world other than ours, in which good is pitted against overwhelming evil, and a heroic boy and his dog must lead the battle. And this is a quote by Daily Express, a fabulous teller of stories who can create an entire new world and make the reader live in it. That was by Daily Express. So yeah, it's written by Stephen King. What I liked about this book is that it's set in the world and it's done well. And this book is just a one and done. This is a standalone. It's not a series, just a quick, fun time, one and done. You're in it, you love it, and then you're out. I do like this type of book series, type of books, because sometimes I don't want to be in a series for too long. I think any series that goes past 10 books is too long in a series, personally. It's I'm kind of a patient reader. It really depends on my mood. Sometimes, yeah, I'm okay with reading a long series. But sometimes I just want a quick one and done. It's in, it's out, done. So yeah, that's what I liked about this book. I also liked the character in this book, Charlie. I thought he was a sassy champ. He's amazing. I love him. He's so funny. And Radar, the dog, she is an angel. I love dogs. So yeah, I rated this book a 4-star. It was so good, and yes, I would recommend this to you. I loved it, and I hope that you love it too. And if there's anything I change, yeah, this is what I didn't like about it. It was at some point the kind of dialogue did get repetitive, just a little bit. Like, I thought, yeah, he kind of already said that, and he said that again. I'm like, how many times are you gonna say this? But I still love this book. So yeah, I do think you should read this. Alright, I'll tell you about the next book. This is Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. I had to read this for year 12. I read this over the summer break.
It was not fun.
It was not fun. I rated this 2 stars, and that was me being generous. You do not want to see my review of this book on Google. Okay, it was not funny. It was not that nice. I think I might actually go in there and edit it to make it a bit nicer. But yeah, it was not pretty of me. I just didn't like it. Like, it might just be me, because it got like a 4.5 on Goodreads, so it could just be my personal taste. But I just didn't like how I didn't get any questions I had did not get answered in this book. I won't tell too much about it because I don't want to spoil the entire thing, but I'll read you the back of it. Hat, ribbon, bird, rose. To the people on the island, a disappeared thing no longer has any meaning. It can be burned in the garden, thrown in the river, or handed over to the memory police. Soon enough, this island forgets it ever existed. When a young novelist discovers that her editor is in danger of being taken away by the memory police, she is desperately wants to save him. For some reason, he doesn't forget, and it's becoming increasingly difficult for him to hide his memories. Who knows what will vanish next? These are some quotes. The timeless fable of control and loss feels more timely than ever. That's by Guardian Books of the Year. Echoes the theme of George Orwell's 1984, but it has a voice and power of its own. That's by Time. A novel that makes us see differently. A masterpiece by Madeline Finn. So yeah, like all these very famous names and stuff and publications all like this book, but I did not. But what I did like about it, this is the good part, is that I like the idea behind it. I think that like an entire island forgetting their memories is really cool. But this is where I didn't like it, because I didn't get any answers to the book. Like, I didn't get any answers as to like why this is happening. Why are the antagonists doing what they're doing? But you might like it. Like, it does have some good parts. You can see how much I've annotated this. I still have to read this for school, and I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about this. I still have to put up with this book for weeks and weeks and weeks. Anyway, so this was this book. I didn't enjoy her, but the author is talented. But it's just me. Anyway, next book. Next, I read Bad Dreams by Tessa Hadley. This is another one I had to read for school, but I didn't have to actually read it until like halfway through the year when we start doing this book, because this is like it's like what we're gonna be doing for our end of the exam. So I didn't have to read this, but my teacher suggested it would be a good idea if I did, and I like this a lot better than I liked Memory Police. It was a lot easier to get into. This has 10 short stories, and each story tells a lesson about being a teenager, being in high school, and making mistakes. I'll read you the blurb. This is a quote. Outstanding. This is a collection to be read and reread. That's by The Guardian. Here's the actual blurb. Two sisters quarrel over inheritance and a new baby. A housekeeper caring for a helpless old man uncovers secrets from his past. A young girl accepts a lift in a car with a group of strangers. An old friend brings bad news to a dinner party. In these gripping and unsettling stories, the ordinary is made extraordinary, and the real things that happen to people turn out to be every bit as mysterious as their dreams. Tessa Hadley, is one of the most sympathetic, this is a quote, sympathetic, insightful observers of human nature writing today. That's by Financial Times. Hadley Quiet's rise to become one of Britain's best writers is further confirmed by Bad Dreams. These well-turned, exceptionally nonsense pieces are solidly evocative of place, period, and sensory detail. That's by the Sunday Times. So, I think I rated this 3.5 stars. So it did much better than this one. Like, I was very generous in giving this 2 stars. I honestly did give it 1 when I first rated it, but I did from reflecting. Anyway, so this book, what I liked about it is that each story was like unique, and I did learn a lot from some of the stories. What I didn't like it is that some of the stories, like, some are good, and then some were kind of slacking. I was like, I'm just kind of bored a little bit in some of these. And yeah, she was okay. Like, I mean, this is a maybe for you, I guess. Like, it was a maybe for me. And yeah, I just, it was okay. I think it was, like, it has its good stuff and it has its bad stuff. But yeah, that's it about it, kind of. It's small, and yeah, there's really not much more I can say about it, really. Because I was kind of bored, but also kind of not. So yeah. Next one. Okay, so next book I read. This is technically the book after the one I'm currently reading, because I'm reading I'll show you it later, but I'm reading The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood currently for the book club. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm planning on finishing it hopefully by the end of this week, so I can start the February book, because I started this book like way late. But anyway, this book so far by Callie Hart, yeah. I think you know her, okay? She's big, but it makes up for it. Oh my god, like, I kind of underestimated this slightly. Like, I've heard people talking about it all over BookTok, all over Bookstagram, all over BookTube. I was like, why? But now I understand why. Let me read you the back in case you haven't read it yet. And if you haven't read it yet,
Huh?
I'm kidding. Read it whenever you want. Sarah's Fane is good at keeping secrets. No one knows about the powers she possesses, or the fact that she has been stealing from the Undying Queen's reserves for as long as she can remember. But a secret is like a knot. Sooner or later, it is bound to come undone. When Sarah's Fane comes face to face with Death himself, she inadvertently reopens a gateway between realms, and it is transported to Yuvila, a land of ice and snow. The Fae have always been the stuff of myth, of legend, of nightmares. But it turns out they're real, and Cyrus has landed in the center of a century-long conflict that may just get her killed. The first of her kind to enter Yuvila in over 1,000 years. Cyrus mistakenly binds herself to King Fisher, a handsome Fae warrior with an agenda of his own. He will use her powers to protect his people, no matter what it costs him or her. Death has a name. It is King Fisher of the Ajun Gate. His past is murky, his attitude stinks, and he's the only way Cyrus is going to make it home. This book, I rated her 5 stars. Okay, this was the first 5 read of the year, and I think so far it was the only 5 read. I'm gonna have to double check that, but I think so. Don't quote me. Think. Okay, I loved the tension in this book. Okay, the banter. Oh my effing god. Oh my god. Am I allowed to swear on YouTube? Because if I'm not, that might be a bit of a problem for me. But let's just say yeah. Oh my god. And spice. Okay, I kind of wanted to read this one out loud on this little booktube thing online. I was like, yeah, I can't read this out loud. It is too descriptive. Very descriptive. And I could get demonetized just by reading anything this man says. Oh my god. No, I'm not sure what I didn't like. I don't think there was. Well, I have one, but it's like not that big of a deal. I'm not the biggest fan of his name. This guy's name. Kingfisher. I'm like, what kind of name is that? Like, I like Sarah's name. Her name's cool. It's badass. But Kingfisher, I just not really feeling that name. It's like, does he look like a person that would be called Kingfisher? Nah. I'm thinking like James, or honestly, he's kind of getting James Dean vibes. Honestly, yeah, he's not really a Kingfisher name vibe person, I guess. He is now that I've read it, but he wasn't before I read it. I was like, what the fuck kind of name is that? Oops, sorry. Sorry. But yeah, like, but that's just a small detail. I still love this man, okay? I think, okay, so far, he's probably number 2 big boyfriend. First one, Satan. Not shocking. I know, I'm basic. And you know what? I own the fact I'm a basic bitch. I'm a basic bitch. There we go. Anyway, I have talked about this one too much. I also, wait, one more thing. I usually don't get people's overreactions to books, and like I usually don't get when people get severely attached to a book. I'm like, why are they crying? It's just a book. Why are their toes curling? But now I get it. Okay, my toes were locked in position. Okay, I could not get them uncurled, and this man was in my dreams. Okay. He gave me the naughty dreams. Oh my god. I should not be admitting that. Like, I promised myself I would never get this emotionally attached to a book. Ever. Like, I was like, it's just dead tree shavings with ink stamped on it. And I am so sorry I ever even thought that or just said that. I'm a bloody idiot. Anyway, let's continue. Next book. I've talked about this one way too much already. So the next book I read was Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This book she was okay. Like, it was a good time. Like, there was some seriously spicy hit scenes. Actually, there was a lot. There was like, I think 12 spicy chapters. I'm not complaining about them. I'm not complaining about those. They were good. And the car scene in front of everyone with music. And if I'm spoiling anything, I'm sorry. That scene plays rent-free in my brain. Okay. Also, like, I did a video about how much I like the cover. It's so pretty. Look at her. Like, I love this little dress thing she's got. It's kind of a cartoony, cute kind of cover. I'm not a big fan of him on this cover though. He's like, I know it's because of the uniform, but he looks massive against her. Like, the clothes are too baggy. And like, I'm just like, It's okay. I'll read you the blurb. I'll read the blurb. Okay. He's the one thing she couldn't plan for. Anastasia Allen has, I actually didn't know her last name until right now. Anastasia Allen has worked her entire life for a shot at Team USA. She has drive that few can match, and as she enters her third year of Maple Hills ice skating team, everything is going according to plan. Nothing will stand in her way, not even the captain of the ice hockey team, Nate Hawkins. Nate's focus as team captain is on keeping his team on the ice, which is tricky when a facilities mishap means that they are forced to share a rink with the ice skating team, including Anastasia, who clearly can't stand him. But when her skating partner gets injured, Nate looks like her best option to advance in the competition. Sparks fly, but Anastasia isn't worried. After all, she doesn't have time for a relationship, right? So yeah, what I did love about this book, I liked, I think it was the spice that really did it for me. Like, those chapters were probably the best chapters in this book. And I liked the fact that she has a character complex and she's not kind of just like, oh, he's hot, he's nice, and like she has character and she's not just like a girl fangirling over at some jock. And like he's also, I still kind of felt like his character though was not as deep as hers. He was kind of shallow for me. And yeah, I also think the dialogue was kind of bad. Like at some parts I thought it was kind of cheesy, but I still liked it. Like I had a good time. But yeah, I liked it, but I did not love it. And I have read Wildfire before, and I thought it was better than the first one, personally. I'm planning reading, I think it's called Daydream, some point, probably this year, when I buy it. But yeah, would I recommend this book to you? Yes, but I would rewrite it. Just a little bit. Just some scenes where I thought it was kind of lacking, like, no, ew, gross. What? And also, does anyone know the point of this little crabby guy you can get if you buy the book? Because I don't. Like, crabs don't appear at all. I guess maybe because of the location they're in. I won't tell you where. The location they're in. But, yeah, like, it's ice hockey. Crabs are associated with the beach. With, like, rock pools and all of that, which is still the beach. So, yeah, the icebreaker, she was okay. I'm going to move on because I had no real reason to move on, other than I've talked about it enough. So, yeah, let's continue. This book. This is 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. 4 stars. 4 fucking stars. Oops, again. Sorry. If you have any kids watching this, I'm sorry. Do not swear, okay? Swear to me that you won't swear. I'll read you the back because I just had a brain block. I'm going to read you the back. A kiss lasts a moment, but can change a lifetime. Rune Christensen and Poppy Lynchfield met as children and swore to be friends forever. As teenagers, this grew into a love that promised to last a lifetime. But their words were shattered when Rune was sent home to his native Norway. 2 years later, Rune is back and Poppy is ready for their happy ever after. But the boy who returns is not the Rune she remembers. What happened to her sweet, thoughtful Rune? What happened to turn her sweet, thoughtful Rune into this brooding stranger? And will the secret Poppy is carrying bring them closer together or separate them forever? And discover the story that will break your heart and make you believe true love really does last for eternity. I won't tell you what happens to her, but that's all I'm going to put out there. I don't like spoilers. I never listen to any spoilers. Like, if I hear anything, so like, I've been hearing so many spoilers about Iron Flame, which I haven't read yet. And I've heard so many spoilers about Onyx Storm, which again, I haven't read yet, but I plan to. And anytime I've heard anything about it, like, as soon as I get up to a video where I start talking about it, I'm like, nah, don't talk, and I just scroll away, I hate spoilers, and I would never spoil a book for you, but you have to read it to find out why I'm reacting to this. And if you do know, don't spoil it for anyone else, okay? That's not nice. But yeah, what I did like about this book is I like the messaging behind it. I really liked how they say love doesn't have a time frame. It doesn't fit a perfect circle. Stuff happens, shit happens, and sometimes there's nothing you can do about it, but sometimes you just need someone by your side to help you get through all the rough stuff you're going to go through in your life. And I thought that was really sweet and really empowering. Like, I really hope that one day I find a man or woman, I'm not fussed, who will treat me like this man treated Poppy. Oh my god. The way he worshipped her, the way he would like step on burning hot coals 15 times to get to her. It's so sweet. It is so sweet. And knowing what happens to her, oh my god. It's so sad. Oh my god, I'm sorry. But I'm not gonna say anything more. What I didn't like about this book is I found at times the writing could be cheesy at parts. And like, okay, I'm trying to be like calm, collected, and like trying to be sad and in the book. And I can't do it when the writing is that cheesy. And I'm trying to appreciate all the little moments they have together. It's just like, okay, no, I'm sorry, I can't do it. If you're gonna put it like that, no, I can't do it. It's just like, aww, or sometimes I'm like, eh. So yeah, I rated this 3.5. And would I recommend it to you? Maybe. I would, for me, yes. But rewrite, absolutely. Absolutely, I would rewrite this bitch. But yeah, let's move on because I'm running out of things to say about her. Take it back. That was all the books I read in January 2025. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you the books that I didn't finish in January 2025, but I started them in January 2025. So the first one, where the hell is she? Is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. So I'm over halfway. I have not got much longer to go. I guess I haven't had much time to get around to reading. So this is the book I am currently reading. And I like her. Like, I think so far it's 4.5. But I haven't read the ending yet. The ending could change everything. But nevertheless, the story, so powerful. And there are some scenes in this book I got scared at some point. the doctor scene, the hospital scene, I was scared. I was scared for her. I won't tell you why I was scared for her. I'll leave that as a not talked about. But there are a couple other scenes where I'm like, okay, I might need a minute. This was triggering. Check your trigger warnings before you read this book. I will quickly read you the blurb to this book, so you can get kind of why I did it, why it's kind of might be a bit sensory for you. Offred is a handmaid in the Republic of Glad. She is placed in the household of the commander, Fred Waterford. Her assigned name of Fred, which means of Fred. She has only one function: to breed. If Offred refuses to enter into sexual servitude to repopulate a devastated world, she will be hanged. Yet even a repressive state cannot eradicate hope and desire, as she recalls her pre-revolution life in flashbacks. Offred must navigate through the terrifying landscape of torture and persecution in the present day, and between two men upon whom her future hangs. Literally. A fantastic, chilling story, and so powerful. That was by Berdine Evaristo. And here's another quote by The Guardian. As relevant today as it was when Atwood wrote it. That's by The Guardian. This book, it kind of reminds me in a way of Anne Frank. I actually haven't read that, but I've heard of it and it reminds me of it. I want to read it. I'm hoping to read it this year, but I will definitely read it in my lifetime. So yeah. Yeah, this was a 4.5 read star so far. And what I like about this book is how it can make me feel something so powerful for a character. Like, any book that can make me feel sad, angry, like a good kind of anger, like scared anger, or like what the fuck just kind of happened anger. Like, not in a bad way, but you say, why was this book even written in the first place? Like, but the kind of says like, what just happened? What the fuck are you doing, lady? Get with that girl. Get with that man. Right now. That kind of anger. And fear. Books that can make me feel scared for a character. Books that can make me laugh, like piss myself laughing. I love those kind of books. Okay, they are powerful books. So, I love that. 1 second. But what I didn't love is like, I think this book might be a bit too graphic at times about what's gonna happen and what happens to her in this book. And like, it's creepy. It is creepy. And the whole stuff about sexual servitude is a bit triggering to me a little bit. I won't tell you why, because it's not a really YouTube friendly kind of conversation as to why. But yeah, it brought up a memory for me that was not nice. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking this book, but I would recommend this book to you. But do read. There's an introduction part where it tells you why it's so triggering and why it's so important. Read that first. Actually, I put up a video up about it, reading this entire book, including introduction, because I wanted to make sure that you knew what you'd be getting into if you started reading or listening to me read this book to you. So yeah, I would absolutely recommend it. Keep it. But yeah, just check your trigger warnings. So yeah, there is one more book I am currently reading at the moment. It's 1,000 Broken Pieces by Tilly Cole. It is the sequel to 1,000 Boy Kisses, also by Tilly Cole. I think I like this one a lot more than I liked this one. At the start I was a bit confused because it's not from the characters in the first book's perspective. It's from a whole different character's perspective. In that, it's about the main female protagonist's sister and her journey. I can't really tell you what it's about, but I'll read the word, but I'll skip the parts that will give it away what happens. Can Toucan Broken Hearts make a whole? After blah 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 3 years ago, Savannah Lynchfield has been living a half-life. When Savannah's therapist suggests joining a trip around the world for blah 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 teens, she agrees to go, clutching tightly to the unread journal her blah 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 left behind. 17-year-old Cale Woods is angry. 1 year after losing his older brother, his life was spiraled. I can say that part, by the way. Once the most promising hockey player in the junior league, Cale can no longer step onto the ice. When his parents sign him up for a trip abroad, no part of him wants to go. But through this, Cale and Savannah embark on this journey alone. They soon find solace in each other as they start to heal piece by broken piece. Could they start a love they never thought they'd feel again? 1,000 Broken Pieces is a beautiful and life-affirming novel about grief, love, and friendship from the best-selling author of 1,000 Boy Kisses. So, yeah, ignore the blah blah blahs I said there. I didn't want to give the entire plot away of this book until you've read it. And if you have read it, you obviously know why I'm saying blah 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 blah. But I'm almost halfway in this book. Again, I haven't really had much time to read. I've been swamped in a lot of studying, a lot of Year 12 work already, and it's only been 1 week of school. It has not been fun, and I haven't had that much time for reading, and I'm so sad about it. I'm so sad. Reading is my escape, okay? I can't really travel anywhere because of my financial situation at the moment, but these books are how I travel. I travel in these books. Like, so far I have been to, this year, I have been to Illinois, I think. I can't remember exactly where I've been. Illinois, I've been to an unknown island somewhere. I have been places all around the United States. I have been to where have I been to? I've been to Yavila. I've been to LA. I have been to I think this one is set, I think that Handmaid's Tale is set, I want to say Tennessee or Atlanta, I think, but I could be wrong, probably am wrong. This book is set in multiple locations. They go on a kind of like a tour camp kind of thing, or across places, and each of them is in a different country. One of them starts off in, wait, hang on. This book is in Georgia. This book starts off in Georgia. Obviously, it starts straight off from this one. Then it goes to 2 countries in Europe. I might say which ones. And then it goes so far, I'm up to a country in South Asia, East Asia, somewhere in Asia. And I believe there's supposed to be 2 more, but I haven't gone up to those countries yet. And so I need to put my phone on silent. 1 second. Hello? Yeah, I don't want to talk to you at the moment. Yeah, two more countries left. And yeah. I don't know what's going to happen next, and I'm so curious. I have not been able to put this book down. I think so far, I probably read this. Let's see, I read the other one 4.5. I probably rate this same, honestly. Maybe like 4.7. Like 4.6, 4.7. Like, it's better than this one. I just find the story about grief amazing. Like, I can kind of feel what they're feeling a lot more than I felt this one. But yeah, that's really it. I think next I'm going to tell you about my to be read pile. So I'll be back in a second. I need to go get those books. There's a lot. And I've gotten all the books that I am going to read. I'm going to rapid fire through these. I'm just going to tell you the name, read the blurb, and how excited I am. Because I need to leave in a few minutes. So, you know what, let's just get into it, okay? So let's start with rereads. Rereads. Alright, hang on. Number 1, we have Fourth Wing. I have read this. I read this last year. Maybe a few months ago. I don't know when I read it. It was 2024. Let me quickly tell you, I'm so excited to read this. Welcome to the brutal and elite world of Bazagith War College. 20-year-old Violet Sorrengill was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now the commanding general, her tough-as Talon's mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates surviving to become the elite of Navarre Dragon Riders. I think I said that first word wrong. But when you're smaller than everyone else and your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away. Because dragons don't bond to fragile humans, they incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond with cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her, just for being her mother's daughter, like Xaden Ryerson. The powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders Quadrant. She'll need every edge of her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet every day, the war outside grows more deadly. The kingdom's protective wards are failing, and even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Everyone at Bazagith has an agenda: to sleep with one eye open, because once you enter, there are only 2 ways out: graduate or die. So this is the first reread I'm going to read at some point. I don't know when, but okay. So I'm planning on finishing this book, and then I'm going to jump into Fourth Wing. So after I finish reading this book, which should be soon, because I'm like rapid firing this baby, then I'm going to read her, so I can finally read Fourth Wing. Finally read Iron Flame. And then after that, I can go and purchase Onyx Storm. I don't like buying books until I've read the books on my bookshelf. Otherwise, I just think like it's a waste of money and just sitting there without any use. And it's not really my money I'm using, is it? It's more my parents' money I'm buying books. So I like to promise myself to read the book before I buy any more. So yeah, I've got a few to keep me going until I buy more. So yeah. The next reread on my TBR is If He Had Been With Me. The reason I am rereading this book is because I can't really remember the plot. Like, I've heard people crying over it, but I can't really remember it. So I'm going to reread it and see if it kind of sticks to me better this time. I read it last year, 2024. And let me just quickly tell you what it's about and how excited I am. I'm saying like medium excited because the fact I can't remember it doesn't really fill me with too much confidence. But you never know, I could just be like forgetting because I'm losing my mind. I don't know. If he had been with me, everything would have been different. Autumn and Finn. Oh, I love that name. I love the name Autumn. So pretty. About to go into autumn actually. I'm in February at the moment, so autumn is right next door. Ooh, perfect time to read it. Autumn and Finn used to be inseparable, but then something changed, or they changed. Now, they do their best to ignore each other. Autumn has her boyfriend Jamie. Oh, I like that name too. Jamie. And her close-knit group of friends. Finn has become that boy at school that everyone wants to be around. That still doesn't stop the way Autumn feels every time she and Finn cross paths. And the growing nagging thought that maybe things could have been different. Maybe they should be together. And as time passes, Autumn realizes she might not get another chance to make things right before it's too late. So, it does sound really interesting, and I can't believe I forgot what it's about. I cannot believe. Like, I couldn't even remember what the characters' names were. That's how much it didn't sink in. I think because I listen to audiobooks a lot, so maybe that's why. And maybe, like, I didn't actually absorb it too much when I was listening to it. So I'm going to do it again, but this time undevoted bloody attention, to this book. So yeah, that's my second reread. I have one more reread on my list. 1 second. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Now, I know that not everyone is the biggest fan of her work, but I loved this book. I loved her. I mean, you can tell. Look how much I book tapped her. But none of my other books had been book tapped. That's also because I was too lazy to do it. So, yeah. I think most of the times I book tab it with parts of Ryle just open his mouth and say whatever he said. I am not saying Ryle is a good person. He was not. He was a complete red flag. But, let's be honest, most of these men in these books would all be red flags if it was real life, okay? Like, let's say Kingfisher. He was very morally grey, okay? Like, if that was real life and someone was treating him like that, he would be a red flag, okay? Because he was toxic, a little bit. And then you also have characters like Zayden, and you have, I'm gonna read the Akatar series, but I've heard stuff about all these characters, and like, it helps to know that they aren't real. That they aren't real, and that way I can look past the stuff that they do. But if it was real life, of course, none of it would be okay, and you would never associate with this kind of person. Well, I hope you wouldn't. I wouldn't, because I'm not that, deranged. I'm not that deranged. But yeah, like I said, it isn't real. And Ryle, he had a troubled past, okay? Like, and I can understand why he would resort to violence. It doesn't make it okay. It is not okay to hurt your partner. But I can understand why he would. And I can understand his reasoning behind it, if that makes any sense. Well, let me quickly read the blurb. Sometimes one you love, who loves you the most, is the one who hurts you the most. Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that never stops her from working hard for the life she wants. She's come a long way from the small town in Maine where she grew up. She graduated from college and moved to Boston and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Ryle Kincaid, everything in Lily's life suddenly seems too good to be true. Ryle is assertive, stubborn, and maybe a little arrogant. He's also sensitive, brilliant, and has a total soft spot for Lily. But Ryle's complete aversion to relationships is disturbing. As questions about her relationship overwhelm her, so do thoughts of Atlas Corrigan, her first love, and a link to the past she left behind. He was her kindred spirit, her protector. When Atlas suddenly reappears, everything Lily has built with Ryle is threatened. With this bold and deeply personal story, this deeply personal novel, Colleen Hoover delivers a heart-wrenching story that breaks exciting new ground for her as a writer. It ends with us as an unforgettable tale of love that comes at an ultimate price. One of my favorite sayings I've ever heard, I don't know who said it, can't remember who said it, I'll look it up later, is if you love something, let it go. Okay? He was not perfect by any means, and he definitely did things that were not okay. I'm not saying he was perfect. I'm not saying that he was an angel. He was not. But I do believe he did love her. And he was a good dad, especially in the second book. He was a good dad. And in the end, he did do the right thing and let her go. And he did it, because he knew it was the right thing. And he didn't want to hurt her anymore, and he knew that he hurt her. He just had demons in his past that he couldn't get rid of. And that's why he acted the way he did. I'm gonna move on. But yeah, that's why I can understand his character. Let's move on. Next, I'm going to be showing you my TBRs, and these are books that I have meant to reread. So these are all really new to moi. No particular order. Let's just start off with one that is closest to me. This is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I will read you the back. I love her gorgeous dress. It is so pretty. I wonder if she's a natural blonde. I don't see that many natural blondes. And I know, I'm not a natural blonde. Duh. I used to be. But I am not. So, I know. And I am one of the people. So, I included myself in that. So, not a complete hypocrite. Reclusive Hollywood movie icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant for the job, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Why her? Why now? Summoned to Evelyn's luxurious apartment, Monique listens to fascination as the actress tells her story, from making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s to her decision to leave show business in the 80s, and of course his 7 husbands along the way. Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, expected friendship, and a great forbidden love. Monique begins to feel a real connection to the legendary star, but as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's own in a tragic and irreversible ways. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a standalone, so I like that. Again, I love a quick one and done book. And I am so interested. I didn't actually realize that she was an actress. I read the blurb, but I didn't really, I clearly didn't take it in. I didn't realize she was an actress. And I am so excited. I'm so excited. Next book, because I don't have much more time. This one is actually a series. This is Twisted Love by Anna Huang. This is the Twisted series, Twisted Life, Twisted Hate, and Twisted Games. I only had the first one because I decided I would buy the other books when I finish them. Because they all come in sets, and the sets are like $40, $60, $70. I'm not going to spend that much on the books. No way. Okay? This one was on sale. No, it wasn't. But it was on sale when I bought it. and it's something like $10, I'll buy that. Okay? I'm not gonna buy a $60 book set because that's crazy. So yeah, Twisted Love discovered the addictive world of the Twisted series. Alex Volkov, I think it's Russian, sounds Russian, is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past he can't escape. Driven by a tragedy that has haunted him for most of his life, his ruthless pursuits for success and vengeance leave little room for matters of the heart. But when he's forced to look after his best friend's sister, he starts to feel something in his chest, a crack, a melt, a fire that could end his world as he knew it. Ava Chen is a free spirit trapped by nightmares of a childhood she can't remember. But despite her broken past, she never stopped seeing the beauty in the world, including the heart beneath the icy exterior of a man she wouldn't want, her brother's best friend, her neighbor, her savior, and her downfall. Theirs is a love that was never supposed to happen. But when it does, it unleashes secrets that destroy them both, and everything they hold dear. It sounds so interesting. I know I'm really late to reading some of these books, and that's okay. You know, you can read a book whenever you want to read a book. There's no timeline. There's plenty of time to read books. You won't read every single book that you want to read in your lifetime. I'm sorry. But you can still read the ones that you have at the moment within your lifetime. So, yeah. That's this book. I'm going to move on to the next one. Now, when I bought this book, I thought it was the first one in the series. This is the Boys of Tommen series by Chloe Walsh. This is Keeping 13. And I googled it and I thought it said this one was the first one. And maybe I didn't read it right. But now I'm seeing, because they have Binding 13 down the back. And now that I've watched countless booktubers to find out which one is in the right order, and this one is the second one. And I cannot start this book until I have the first one, because you can't start a book on book 2. That's just madness. And if this is supposed to be a sequel to the first one, hello, it's going to have so many loopholes, and I'm going to be like, what? I don't understand. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one, because I've heard nothing but good stuff about it in this series. So, yeah. Let me just quickly read the blurb, then I'll move on. Falling in love was the easy part. What comes next is the test. See, he fell in love in the first book. See, how can I... Okay, never mind. Johnny was designed for sports stardom until a devastating injury had left him stripped of his beloved number 13 jersey and struggled to hold on to his dreams. Lost, insecure, and desperately seeking comfort, he sets his sights on unraveling the mystery of the girl who haunts his every waking hour. Keeping secrets has never been a problem for Shannon Lynch. She knows that demons and evil men don't just exist in fairy tales. Oh, that is so true. They exist in her world too. Traumatized and desperate to protect her younger brothers, Shannon finds herself falling into the same old cover-up as her future unravels before her eyes. Beaten and broken, her walls are up, and her trust is shaken. Only one boy has the ability to climb those walls, the boy who owns her heart. But when secrets are exposed, lives could be changed forever. Can even Johnny and Shannon's love survive? Meet the irresistible Boys of Tommen and feel the emotional power of first love like never before. First love? Okay, what? in the epic series of the TikTok sensation Chloe Walsh. Includes a brand new bonus chapter. Ooh. Okay. She sounds really interesting. I haven't actually read the book. I haven't actually read the back of the book. So this was a first to me. I just found out what it's about. I didn't know it before until now. How do you see? I cannot start this on book 2. Okay, I cannot. It just messes with my head, and I wouldn't understand any of it. And you have to read a book first. It's like you wouldn't read the 6th book in Harry Potter first. You wouldn't read the 3rd one first. You have to start with the first one. Otherwise, nothing will make sense. Or you can't read The Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe first in Narnia. Or you can't read Prince Caspian, whatever it's called, first. Because it has an order. And it'll make things make sense. And that follows up with the next book I'm going to talk to you about, which is actually, I know I just said something about box sets, and I know, I'm sorry, but that was before I remembered I did buy a $6 box set. Oops. So, scratch what I said a little bit, it's still kind of true. This is heavy. The ACOTAR series. I haven't read this yet, and I have been wanting to. Okay. She's gonna take me a while, okay? She's gonna take me a while. I'm not gonna read each of the blurb for this, because there's 5 books here, and I really don't have that much time. I really should be going food shopping in a minute. So yeah, you know her. I'll just read the front of the books, okay? Sarah J. Maas, A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings and Ruin, A Court of Frost and Starlight, A Court of Silver Flames. One thing I'll say, there must be a reason, but I'm not loving how this doesn't match the rest of the books. You know that book series that there's like, if it's a series, the covers need to match aesthetically and all that. That's what I think of a book. Like, the size and the design have to be the same. Like, I much prefer this design to these 4. So like, I wish that these ones looked like this. Okay, and what will make it better is that if the rest of the books came out looking like this one, maybe this is like the first part in the series. I heard that these 4 focus on one couple, and then the rest, because this is still to go, focus on a different one. So I can understand that a bit better, but this is left, and this series is left like this, and this is the only detailed book. I'm going mad, because like, why? Why would you change the cover? Why? It was a perfectly okay cover. It was an okay cover. It wasn't bad. It was still kind of pretty. Sorry, I have my eyelash in my eye now. But yeah, why would you change the cover? Okay. I need to move on. I am yapping up a storm. Okay. The next book. I did mention this one before. When I mentioned 4th Ring, but next one is Iron Flame. I haven't read her yet, and I have to before I purchase Onyx Dawn. So I'm prepping for my reread of 4th Ring and my read of my Iron Flame. So yeah, let me read you the blurb. I have read this before. She survived her first year at Basildeth War College, but the danger is just beginning. Everyone expected Violet Sorrengail to die during her first year at Basildeth War College, Violet included. But threshing was only the first impossible test, meant to weed out the weak-willed, the unworthy, and the unlucky. Now the real training begins, and Violet already wondering how she will get through. It's not just that it's grueling and maliciously brutal, or even that it's designed to stretch the writer's capacity for pain beyond endurance. It is the new vice commandant who's made it his personal mission to teach Violet exactly how powerless she is, unless she betrays the man she loves. Although Violet's body might be weaker and frailer than everyone else's, she still has her wits and a will of iron. And leadership is forgetting that the most important lesson Violet has taught her. Dragon Riders made their own rules. Their determination to survive won't be enough this year, because Violet knows the real secret hidden for centuries at Basildon War College, and nothing, not even Dragonfire, may be enough to save them in the end. And this is a quote from in the book. It is on the back, okay, so I can read this. It is a spoiler, but it's an intentional spoiler. So yeah. The first year is when some of us lose our lives. The second year is when the rest of us lose our humanity. Oh my god. Oh my god. What? What? Okay. I have heard, I love listening to like Mariana reads and Bailey reads and all that, and the way they talk about this book, and I'm like, okay, where are my tissues? Where are they? Where is my you-know-what? I don't actually have one, but where is it hypothetically? Okay. Like, huh? Let's move on, okay? Because I feel weird, and I probably shouldn't be talking about this too much. Otherwise, this is gonna get very awkward. Okay, next book. Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Stop pleasing, start living. This is a memoir by Glennon Doyle, so it's about her own memories. I'll quickly read it. Who were you before the world told you who to be? For many years, New York Times best-selling author Glennon Doyle denied her discontent. Then one day, at a conference, she glanced up at a woman, and 3 words flooded her mind. There she is. At first, Glennon assumed that words come from on high, but soon she realized that they had come from within. This was the voice she had buried beneath decades of numbing addictions and social conditioning. Glennon decided to let go of the world's expectations of her and claim her true, untamed self. Forceful and Tender Untamed is both an intimate memoir and a galvanizing wake-up call about what is possible when we step out of our cages and say, here I am. It's a quote. Untamed will liberate women emotionally, spiritually, and physically. I believe Glennon was born to write this book. This way, as just this moment in history. It is phenomenal. Elizabeth Gilbert. I don't have much time, so yeah, that's the book. I'm looking forward to it. This was given to me free by my cousin's girlfriend because her family member was getting rid of some of her books that she didn't need anymore, and I picked it up. So free books. Yay! This is another one. Gaisi, Transcendent Kingdom. I would say that Transcendent Kingdom is a novel for our time, and it is. But it's so much more than that. It's a novel for all times. The splendor and heart and insight and brilliance contained in the pages holds up a light to the rest of us can follow. That's by Anne Patchett. Absolute Transcendent, a gorgeously woven narrative about a woman trying to survive the grief of a brother lost to addiction and a mother trapped in depression while pursuing her ambitions. Not a word or idea out of place. The range I am quite angry. This is so good. That's by Roxanne Gay. So, this was... Ooh. Okay, that's not something new about her. Okay. So this really sounds interesting, actually. It's not a blurb, it's 2 quotes by 2 people. I'm guessing really famous people. I haven't heard of them, but I'm guessing they're really famous to have been featured on the back. So I'm going to turn a blind eye and trust them. So I have to quickly move on. But it sounds really interesting. Next book. The next book is Yellowface by Rebecca F. Quang. This is one hell of a story. It's just not hers to tell. Athena Liu is a literary darling, and June Hayward is literally nobody. When Athena dies in a freak accident, June steals her unpublished manuscript and publishes it as her own under the ambiguous name Juniper Song. But as evidence threatens June's stolen success, she discovers exactly how far she will go to keep what she thinks she deserves. What happens next is entirely someone else's fault. White lies, dark humor, deadly consequences. This is on my most anticipated TBR because this has been all over Book Talk, and I've been dying to read it. Oh my gosh. It looks amazing. I know I'm speeding up a little bit, that's because I really shouldn't be filming this right now, but I am because I don't make best decisions, okay? So, I'm going to quickly move on. Here's the next one. This is called My Sister's Keeper by Jodie Picoulty. This was another freebie that I got from my cousin, girlfriend, partner. Really, rarely have I ever read such an eloquent portrayal of the family in crisis. Every character, real. Every situation, true. Picoulty defies you to put this novel down once you've begun it. I do the same. Elizabeth Gorge. Okay. Anna is not sick, but she might as well be. By age 13, she has undergone countless surgeries, transfusions, and shots so that her older sister Kate can somehow fight the leukemia that has plagued her since childhood. Anna was conceived as a bone marrow match for Kate, a life and role she has never questioned until now. Like most teenagers, Anna is getting to question who she truly is. But unlike most teenagers, she has already been defined in terms of her sister. And so Anna makes a decision that for most would be unthinkable. A decision that will tear her family apart and have perhaps fatal consequences for the sister she loves. Told from multiple points of view, My Sister's Keeper examines what it means to be a good parent, a good sister, a good person. It is morally correct to whatever it takes to save a child's life, even if that means infringing upon the rights of another. Should you follow your own heart or let others lead you? What happens when emotion catches up to scientific advances? So this sounds so interesting, which is why I picked it up. It has definitely been read. I mean, look at that stain. But oh well, like, clearly it shows that this person clearly could not put it down because they clearly ate over it. But that's okay, because that kind of gives me high hopes. It sounds really interesting, and I don't remember, you might have an episode I've seen. Have you ever seen Dr. House Medical Department show? It reminds me of that because there was this girl, or I think, who basically was used as a liver organ supply for her sister because she had like leukemia or something like that. And basically she wanted the right to her own body. Oh no, it wasn't that. It was a different film. But anyway, that's basically the plot of that. And then I have a few more here. Well, like 5 more. If I Had Your Face by Francis Sharp. What bothers me about this book is that the cover does not fit the entire book. I don't know why they did that. I thought it was a mistake. I thought maybe it was a printing error. But I think it was deliberate. Like, why? Did it shrink in the wash? Did it shrink when you were printing it? Why? It also means that you can damage this page more easily. Anyway, I'm not too fussed about it, but it's still triggering me. Long listed for Dylan Thomas Prize 2021. In Seoul, where impossible beauty standards and ruthless social hierarchies dictate your every move, 4 women are bouncing on a razor's edge. Curie, a beautiful room salon girl paid to entertain wealthy businessmen for hours, after hours. Myho, an artist whose life becomes enmeshed with the offspring of a sooty, wealthy elite. Ara, a hairstylist whose obsession with a K-pop star leads her to violent extremes. Wanna, their neighbor, pregnant with a child that she can't afford. Set in drinking dens and beauty salons of South Korea's capital. If I Had Your Face is an electrifying debut novel about female strength, resilience, and the solace that friendship can provide. I need to quickly move on. I don't have that much time left. Why am I doing this right now? I don't know. Next. This one is called When Breath Becomes Air. When Breath Becomes Air. What makes life living in the face of death? This is by Paul Kalanithi. Sorry. It's a worldwide bestseller. What do you do when life is catastrophically interrupted? What does it mean to have a child as your own life fades away? What makes life worth living in the face of death? At the age of 36, on the verge of completing a decade training as a neurosurgeon, Paul K. I'm going to call him that. Paul K. was diagnosed with inoperable lung cancer. One day, he was a doctor treating the dying. The next, he was a patient struggling to live. When Breath Becomes Air chronicles Paul's transformation from a medical student in search of what makes a virtuous and meaningful life into a neurosurgeon working in the core of human identity, the brain, and finally into a patient and a new father. That was not what I thought of the book. Okay, I did not think it was drop-worthy. Okay. This sounds interesting. I kind of like it. Like, life changes on a dime. In this case, quite literally. And, like, sometimes your life gives you lemons and it doesn't always turn out the way you hoped. It's a short, quick read, but I like it. What if it's a series? I don't think it is. Because he doesn't So, yeah. There are 5 more. Next one is The Power by Naomi Alderman. The Power is a Blast. That's by Financial Times. All over the world, women are discovering they have the power. With a flick of the fingers, they can inflict terrible pain, even death. Suddenly, every man on the planet finds they've lost control. The day of girls has arrived, but where will it end? The Power by Naomi Alderman. Isn't she the lady who did the introduction speech for President Trump when he was first elected? I think he was. But I don't remember if I am right. I think I am. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think... Wait, there might be a picture of her. Yeah. It is not her. Yeah, it's not. I'm sorry, it's not. Excuse me, I know nothing. Absolutely nothing. Alright, next one is King of Wrath by Anna Huang. I didn't realize she wrote both the Twisted Lies series and the King of Sin series. I had no idea, okay? King of Wrath by Anna Huang. One moment. She's the wife he never wanted, and the weakness he never saw coming. Ruthless, meticulous, arrogant, Dante Rosso thrives on control, both personally and professionally. The billionaire CEO never planned to marry until the threat of blackmail forces him into an arrangement with a woman he barely knows. Vivian Liu, jewelry heiress and daughter of his newest enemy. It doesn't matter how beautiful or charming she is. He'll do everything in his power to destroy the evidence and their betrothal. There's only one problem now. There's only one problem. Now that he has her, he can't bring himself to let her go. Elegant, ambitious, well-mannered. Vivian Liu is the perfect daughter and her family's ticket into upper echelons of high society. Marrying a blue-blooded Rosso means opening doors that would otherwise remain closed to her new money family. While the rude, elusive Dante isn't her idea of a dream partner, she agrees to their arranged marriage out of duty. Craving his touch was never part of the plan. Neither was the worst thing she could possibly do. Fall in love with a future husband. Dear me, it sounds good. Okay. This is the King of Sin series. And I have heard a few good things about it. Like, I've heard people say it's really spicy. And I like a bit of spice. Clearly. Clearly. So, yeah, I'm going to move on. I still have two more to get through. The next one is The Hidden Girl by Lucinda Riley. Sweeping and evocative, The Hidden Girl is a lost treasure from the global #1 bestseller Lucinda Riley. You can't alter destiny. Born and raised in a small village on the Yorkshire moors, Leah Thompson grows more beautiful with each passing day. When she catches the attention of influential, troubled Delancey family, she knows her life will never be the same again. Years later, Leah takes her modelling work by storm, traveling from Milan to London and New York, and living life in the tap of luxury. But her past, mysteriously intertwined with the tragic tale of two young siblings in Portland during the Second World War, follows her like a dark shadow. Sorry, my nose is itchy. As soon as two generations of secrets threaten to explode, Leah is haunted by a fatal, forgotten prophecy from her past and must fight to challenge the destiny that has been mapped out for her in the stars. Long before she... Okay, never mind. This is just credit to the author stuff. So yeah, this sounds really interesting. This is the next one I'm going to be reading after The Handmaid's Tale for this little book club thingy. So yeah. Okay, so last book I'm going to mention to you guys before I have to wrap this up is called Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is a movie, and I have been dying to watch it. But always the book is usually better than the film adaptation. Like 90% of the time, there are really good films from books that I have enjoyed. Like Little Women, Pride and Prejudice. What's this one? It Ends With Us, and a few others are very rare ones I have actually enjoyed. This one, Red, White and Royal Blue, hopefully I will enjoy this one too. And it's not just some cheesy thing, because I think this book sounds really interesting. Let me quickly tell you what it's about before I have to wrap this up. What happens when America's first son falls in love with the Prince of Wales? Ooh, he's next in line. Alex Claremont Diaz is handsome, charismatic, a genius, pure millennial marketing gold for White House ever since his mother first became President of the United States. There's only one problem. When the tabloids get hold of a photo involving an altercation between Alex and Prince Henry, that's funny, Prince Henry, US-British relations take a turn for the worse. Heads of family and state devise a plan for damage control. Stage a truce, but what begins as a fake, Instagrammable friendship grows deeper and more dangerous than either Alex or Henry could have imagined. Soon, they are hurtling into a secret romance that could derail the presidential campaign and upend two nations. Oh my gosh. It sounds like a romance drama. I mean, a gay romance drama. And it sounds amazing. I have always wanted to read more stories like this. I am trying to really diverse my reading because I tend to stick to the same types of books. Which is why I don't like sticking to the one genres, and I don't like reading the same stories all the time. I'm trying to read different stories, like different stories by different religions, different stories by different cultures, different stories by different people and their interests. Because I want to be inclusive to all authors, all stories, because every story is unique and they're all good in a way. Like, I don't always love every book I read, but they're all trying to do the same thing. They're all trying to tell someone's story. Either their own, someone made up, or someone they've met. And it's amazing, which is why I love reading so much, because reading is subjective, and reading just takes you to other places, completely unknown, completely, you just live through other people's eyes. So yeah, let me know what you thought of my books. Have you read any of these books? And my TBRs, no spoilers, but let me know your reviews, okay? Let me know your thoughts on these books. Let me know about the books that I have read, if you like them too. And I will see you later. I will be uploading the rest of The Handmaid's Tale tomorrow. I'm up to part 12, chapter 31. There are 46 chapters, so I'm almost done. I am almost done. So I shall be hopefully finished by end of this week, and I can start the The Hidden Girl, I think it was, by Lucinda Riley. So yeah, I have to go. I need to go food shopping, so I'm hungry, and I have school tomorrow. So bye. I hope you have an amazing day or night and week. Bye. Mwah.